Hello, my name is Tony Beers, and this is Movie Reads.
And just like the movies, we play out our last scene.
Hey everybody, Tony Beers here again, and there's been a lot of comic book movie news recently, and I wanted to give my opinion on it. Okay, first off, the SpiderMan reboot costume. Now, as much as I'm against this SpiderMan reboot, it's gonna happen. They're making the movie right now, it might as well be good. I don't ever want to see a bad movie, and I especially don't ever want to see a bad Spider-Man movie, which is a character that I loved ever since I was a little kid. So if they're gonna have one, it might as well be good. That's my thoughts on it, and I predicted it's gonna suck, but I hope I'm wrong. But looking at these pictures of the costume, I'm leaning towards gonna suck. Okay, the first picture I saw of this costume, I was like, it looks okay. I mean, it's damaged. We can't really see the whole thing. He's not wearing the mask, and it's dark in this scene. But then I seen other pictures of it, and as soon as I saw those other pictures, like, oh god, it looks terrible. I don't like the gloves. I don't like the stripe going down the leg. I don't like the silver thing on his boots. You can't see the black webbing on the costume. It just looks bad. It looks like a spandex track outfit. Now on the casting news. Now for The Dark Knight, Tom Hardy is cast as Bane, and Anne Hathaway is cast as Selena Kyle, who we all know is Catwoman. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt will also be in this movie. Now as far as the characters, I like it. I like Bane. I love Catwoman. With Bane, they can finally make him the way he should be. They can correct the mistakes they made in Batman and Robin. I'm mostly excited to see Catwoman, because finally we'll have a sexy female character in this movie franchise. Let's face it, the last two movies were sausage fests. However, I'm not too excited about the casting for these two roles. Tom Hardy as Bane. First off, I think he's way too skinny to be Bane. Everybody keeps showing me pictures of him in a movie called Bronson, in which he looks big, but he doesn't look huge, and Bane should be huge. I mean, Bane should be the size of someone like Lou Ferrigno, and this guy is not that big. Also, I feel that Bane should be played by a Hispanic actor. Now, I know that Bane is from a fictional country, Caribbean Republic of Santa Prisca, but that's a Spanish-sounding name to me. In Batman the Animated Series, he was voiced by Hispanic actors with Spanish accents. He wears a luchador mask, and a name was given to him in Batman and Robin, which his name was Antonio Diego, which is a Spanish-sounding name. So these are the reasons why I think he should be played by a Hispanic actor. And Tom Hardy is British, so that's why I'm against him playing Bane. Now, as far as Catwoman, Anne Hathaway, again, I think this part is miscast. Anne Hathaway, she's an attractive woman, but to me, she looks too innocent, and she's very skinny. Catwoman should be voluptuous and very sexy, and I don't get that from Anne Hathaway. Now, also in this movie is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Now, if you've seen some of my other videos, I don't like him. You know, everybody's saying how great an actor he is, but he just don't look right for the parts he's played so far. He looks like an 8-year-old boy to me, and I can't take a person seriously if you look like an 8-year-old boy. Now, having said that, when Heath Ledger was cast as the Joker, I was very against it, and I see now how very wrong I am. So I could be completely wrong about these two as well. And I'm not a Christopher Nolan fanboy. He's a good director, but there's great directors that have done bad movies. No one has a perfect record. Every director has a bad movie on their resume. So Christopher Nolan can easily screw this movie up. I'm hoping that he doesn't. I think he's a great director. I'm hoping that I'm wrong, but this is my opinion so far on his casting choice. Now on to Superman, Man of Steel. Okay, first of all, this is going to be directed by Zack Snyder. I really like Zack Snyder's movies. Every movie that I've seen him do, I've liked. So I think he's a great director for Superman. Second of all, it's written by David S. Goyer, who he's also a great writer. He's written The Dark Knight, which is one of the greatest superhero movies ever made. And it's going to be produced by Christopher Nolan, who, like I said, I think he's a great director. So I think he'll be a great producer as well. So I have high hopes for this movie. So Superman is going to be played by Henry Cavill, which I haven't seen anything this guy's been in, so I don't really know about him. However, he looks the part, so that's one good thing. On the other hand, he's British, which is not a big deal, but I would prefer Superman to have been played by an American. Now, as far as the villains go, from what I've heard, the main villain is going to be Zod, which is fine with me, but I'd rather it have been a villain that we haven't seen before. We've already seen Zod, and he is one of my favorite Superman villains. He was played perfectly by Terrence Stamp, but like I said, we've seen him before. Let's see some other villains like Brainiac or Darkseid or Metallo. Just someone else, someone that we haven't seen on the big screen before. That's my only problem with Superman Man of Steel so far. Okay, now let's go on to some trailers. The Green Lantern. It looks okay so far. A few problems I had was, one, Hal Jordan seems way too jokey in this. Now, I'm not a Green Lantern expert, but from what I understand, he's more of a serious character. He's not a very jokey character. In the Green Lantern, Green Arrow comics, he was portrayed as a more conservative person. So, seeing him, Ryan Reynolds, bring his sense of humor into this movie makes me feel that he might be better suited for other characters such as The Flash or Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern, I'm okay with it so far, but I can't help but think that there might have been someone else to better play Hal Jordan, but we'll see. He might do a great job. And my second problem with it is the CGI is not that great. And also, the CGI suit, they could have done without the CGI suit. I don't understand why they just didn't have just a regular suit. It doesn't make any sense to me. If you can do something without CGI, I say do it. So, Green Lantern trailer, it looks alright. Now, let's move on to the Thor trailer. Now, this looks great. The special effects looks awesome. Now, for Odin, you couldn't get anyone better than Anthony Hopkins to play Odin. I think that's perfect casting right there. I like Natalie Portman too. I think she's a great actress as Jane Foster. And one thing about Thor is he's a supernatural character, and that's what a lot of comic book movies have been lacking lately. You don't see many supernatural superhero movies. Most of them are science fiction based characters, and I'm glad to see some more in there. This movie looks great. Now on to Captain America: The First Avenger. This movie looks really good too. Some people have a problem with Chris Evans. I don't. People will say, well, he was already Human Torch, and I say, well, they're going to remake the Fantastic Four movies, so it really doesn't matter. Hugo Weaving as the Red Skull is great. Tommy Lee Jones is in it. You know, it has a really good cast. I was really happy to see Dum Dum Dugan in the trailer, as well as Bucky. They look pretty cool. But the coolest thing I've seen in the trailer is Hugo Weaving as the Red Skull when he's tearing his face off and you see him as Red Skull. I love that. Was the money shot right there. And I've seen pictures online that the Cosmic Cube is going to be in the movies, and the Cosmic Cube has ties with the Infinity Gauntlet, and the Infinity Gauntlet will be in the Thor movie as one of Odin's treasures or something like that. That leads me to believe that Thanos will be the villain in the Avengers movie. Of course, this is just me speculating. Some people will say it might be the Kree and the Skrull, which is still possible. I'm not against that. And lastly, I just recently seen X-Men First Class first trailer for that, and it looks okay. There's nothing I've seen really bad in the trailer. My biggest problem is that it's not really with the continuity of the first four movies. For example, the White Queen, okay, she first appeared in X-Men Origins Wolverine when she was a child, and X-Men Origins Wolverine took place in the 70s, and X-Men First Class is going to take place in the 60s. So in the 70s, she's a young woman, and in the 60s, she's an adult. So that doesn't quite make sense. So for X-Men First Class, I'm on the fence on it right now. It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't really look good. As far as X-Men First Class and the Spider-Man reboot, these studios are just spitting these movies out so they don't lose their license to Disney. That's all these movies are to cash in on movies that they've already made so far. So I'm predicting the X-Men First Class and the Spider-Man reboot are going to be bad. But I don't want to see these characters that I love in a bad movie, but I'm hoping that I'm wrong and they're actually going to be good. So to recap, Spider-Man reboot costume looks bad. I don't like the casting choices for Dark Knight. Superman the Man of Steel looks promising. The Green Lantern trailer looks okay. The Thor trailer looks great. The Captain America trailer looks good. And the X-Men First Class trailer looks okay. Well, that's my opinion. Tell me what you guys think. I'm Tony Beers, and I'll catch you next time.